Welcome to Spelling Analysis. Today, our first word is terrify. The storm will terrify me. Go ahead and say terrify. How many syllables? 3. All right, we will say to spell tear-ri-fy. What will we say to spell? Tear-ri-fy. Let's sound it out together. The first syllable is tear, t-e-r. The second syllable is ri, I. Use an I-I-E-ya. The third syllable is fi, f-I. Use a ya-I-I-E. Go ahead and write tear, ri, fi, sounding it out loud as you write it. Now, help me to write it. Sound it out loud while I write it. The first syllable is tear, t-e-r. The second syllable is ri, I. The third syllable is fi, f-I. How will we mark terrify? Well, notice this is saying it's long sound. I thought Y said the E sound at the end of a multi-syllable word. Where is the stress in this word? Terrify. Notice this syllable is stressed. So this is an unstressed syllable. Y says it's E sound at the end of a multi-syllable word in a stressed syllable. In this case, it's unstressed. That's why it's saying it's I sound. Let's read it together. T-e-r-i. Terrify. The next word is special. This word is special. Go ahead and say special. How many syllables? 2. We will say to spell spe-shall. What will we say to spell? Spe-shall. Okay, do you hear what's special about the word special? Let's sound it out. S-p-e. There you go. There's an e saying it's short sound at the end of the syllable. That is special. The next syllable's shall. Sh. Use a short sh. A-ul. Go ahead and write spe-shall, sounding it out as you write it. And help me to write it. The first syllable is spe. S-p-e. The second syllable is shall. Sh-a-ul. How do we mark it? Well, I'm going to put a breve over that e that's saying it's short sound at the end of the syllable because that is very unusual. And we'll underline the sh. Let's read it. S-p-e-sh-a-ul. Special. The next word is specialize. I specialize in teaching reading. Go ahead and say specialize. How many syllables? 3. Now this word specialize, we will say to spell we will say to spell spe-shall-ize. What will we say to spell? Spe-shall-ize. Let's say it together. The first syllable is spe. S-p-e. The second syllable is shall. Sh. Use a short sh. A-ul. The third syllable is eyes. I. Use an I-I-E-ya. Z. This is just z. Silent finally. Go ahead and write spe-shall-ize, sounding it out as you write it. And help me to write it. The first syllable is spe. S-p-e. The second syllable is shall. Sh-a-ul. The third syllable is eyes. I-z. Silent finally. How will we mark this? Well, once again, I will put a breve over this e saying it's short sound at the end of the syllable. We'll underline the sh. And notice this is saying it's long sound. Why? The vowel says its long sound because of the E. Let's read it. Sp, a, sh, a, l, I, z. Specialize. Notice these two words are related. We took the word special and we added the suffix "ize." The next word is customize. Jack will customize his car. Go ahead and say customize. How many syllables in customize? 3. We will say to spell cuss, Tom, eyes. What will we say to spell? Cuss, Tom, eyes. Let's sound it out together. The first syllable is cuss. K. Use a k. S. S. Use a s. Z. The second syllable is Tom. T. M. The third syllable is eyes. I. Use an I, E, ya. Z. Use a z. Silent final E. Go ahead and write cuss, Tom, eyes, sounding it out as you write it. And help me to write it. The first syllable is cuss. K, s. The second syllable is Tom. T, m. The third syllable is eyes. I, z. Silent final E. How will we mark it? We'll put a line over the I. It's saying its long sound. Why? The vowel says its long sound because of the E. So we have k, s, t, I, z. Customize. Notice specialize and customize use the same suffix. The next word is idealize. I tend to idealize our vacations. Go ahead and say idealize. How many syllables? 4. We will say to spell I-D-A-lize. What will we say to spell? I-D-A-lize. Let's sound it out together. The first syllable is I. I. Use an I-E, ya. D, D-E. A. Lies. I. Use an I-E, ya. Z. Use a z. Silent final E. Go ahead and write I-D-A-lize, sounding it out as you write it. And help me to write it. The first syllable is I. I. D. D-E. A. Lies. I-Z. Silent final E. How will we mark this word? We'll put a line over the I. Notice I and Y may say if or I at the end of the syllable. Put a line over the E. Why did it say its long sound? A, E, O, U usually say their long sounds at the end of the syllable. Put a line over the A for the same reason, it's at the end of the syllable. Why did this I say its long sound? The vowel said its long sound because of the E. Let's read it. I-D-E-A-L-I-Z. Idealize. Excellent. The next word is population. What is the population of New York City? Go ahead and say population. How many syllables? 4. We will say to spell pop-u-lay-shon. What will we say to spell? Pop-u-lay-shon. Let's spell it together. The first syllable is pop. P-a-p. The second syllable is u. U. Lay. Ul-a. Shon. Sh. Use a tall sh. A-n. Go ahead and write pop-u-lay-shon, sounding it out as you write it. And help me to write it, sounding it out while I do. The first syllable is pop. P, a, p, u, lay, a, shon, sh, a, n. How will we mark it? We'll put a line over the U and the A. Why did they say they're long sounds? A, E, O, U usually say they're long sounds at the end of the syllable. And we'll underline the sh. Let's read it together. P, A, P, U, L, A, sh, A, N. Population. The next word is obvious. There is no obvious answer. Go ahead and say obvious. How many syllables? 3. We will say to spell obvious. What will we say to spell? Obvious. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is ob. Ob. V. V. E. Use a I, E, ya. Us. Use an ow, o, u, s. Use a s, z. Go ahead and write obvious, sounding it out as you write it. Excellent. Let's sound it out together. Ob, a, b, v, v, e, us, s. Now, how will we mark this one? What sound is I, E, ya saying? It's saying its third vowel sound, E. Notice it's saying its second long sound, E, at the end of the syllable. Let's underline the What sound of ow, o, u, are we hearing? We are hearing the fourth sound, Let's read it. A, b, v, e, s. Obvious. The next word is exclaim. What did she exclaim? Go ahead and say exclaim. How many syllables? 2. We will say to spell exclaim. What will we say to spell? Exclaim. Let's sound it out. X. Claim. K. Use a k. S. L. A. 2-letter A that you may not use at the end of English words. Go ahead and write exclaim, sounding it out as you write it. And help me to write it. The first syllable is X. X. The second syllable is claim. K, O, A, M. How do we mark it? We'll underline the A. Let's read it. X, K, O, A, M. Exclaim. The next word is bandage. I will need a bandage for my ankle. Go ahead and say bandage. How many syllables? 2. We will say to spell bandage. What will we say to spell? Bandage. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is ban. B-a-n. Second syllable is dage. D-a-j. Use a g-j. Silent final E. Go ahead and write bandage, sounding it out as you write it. And help me to write it. The first syllable is ban. B-a-n. The second syllable is dage. D-a-j. Silent final E. How do we mark it? Well, the vowel said its long sound because of the E. And notice, what is this saying? G-j, bandage. It's saying its second sound. Wow, we have 2 reasons for a silent final E. The vowel said its long sound because of the E, and the G softens to J because of the E. Let's read it. B-a-n-d-a-j, bandage. The next word is tradition. We have a tradition for Thanksgiving. Go ahead and say tradition. How many syllables? 3. We will say to spell tradition. What will we say to spell? Tradition. Let's sound it out. Tray. T-er-a. D. D-I. Use an I-E-ya. Sean. Sh. Use a tall sh. A-n. Go ahead and write tradition, sounding it out as you write it. And help me to write it. The first syllable is tray. T, a. The second syllable is d. I. The third syllable is Sean. Sh, n. And how do we mark it? We'll put a line over the A, and notice the I is saying its short sound. So A, E, O, U usually say their long sounds at the end of the syllable. And how about the rule for I and Y? I and Y may say I or I at the end of the syllable. And we'll underline the sh. Let's read it. T, a, d, I, sh, n. Tradition. The next word is recent. How recent did that, how recent was the withdrawal? Recent. Go ahead and say recent. How many syllables? 2. We will say to spell re-sent. What will we say to spell? Re-sent. The first syllable is re, e. The second syllable is sent, s. Use a k, s. N, t. Go ahead and write re-sent, sounding it out as you write it. And help me to write it. The first syllable is re, e. The second syllable is sent, s, n, t. And how will we mark it? We'll put a line over the E. What sound of k, s do you hear? The second. Why? The C always softens to s when followed by an E, I, or Y. Let's read it. E, s, n, t. Recent. The next word is completely. We are completely finished. Go ahead and say completely. How many syllables? 3. We will say to spell completely. What will we say to spell? Completely. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is com. K. Use a k, s. Pleat. P, ul, e, t. Silent final E. Lee. Ul, e. Use a y, I, e. Go ahead and write completely, sounding it out as you write it. And help me to write it. The first syllable is com. K, pleat. P, ul, e, t. Silent final E. Lee. Ul, e. How will we mark it? Well, notice this is saying its long sound because of the E. And what sound is I, E saying? Its fourth sound. So what is the base word here? It is complete. And notice complete ends in a silent final E. Well, we drop the silent final E when adding a vowel suffix. Is this a vowel suffix? No, it starts with a consonant. So we keep the E to get completely. Let's sound it out. K, p, ul, e, t, ul, e. Completely. Excellent. The next word is determined. I am determined to learn how to spell these. Go ahead and say determined. How many syllables? 3. We will say to spell determined. What will we say to spell? Determined. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is D, E. The second syllable is ter, t, Use the of her. Mind, use an I, E, ya, n, d. That's right. This is an edit. Go ahead and write determined. Sound it out as you write it. And help me to write it. The first syllable is D, E, ter, t, mind, n, d. All right, how will we mark it? We'll put a line over the E. A, E, O, U usually say their long sounds at the end of the syllable. We'll underline the And notice we have an edit here. And determined, what sound is it saying? Ed-d-t. That's right, it's saying its second sound, d. Let's read it. D-e-t-er-m-i-n-d. Determined. The next word is cooperate. This project will require students to cooperate. Let's go ahead and say cooperate. How many syllables? 4. We will say to spell co-op-er-ate. What will we say to spell? Co-op-er-ate. Sorry, I almost forgot that one. Let's sound it out together. Co. K. Use a k. S. O. Op. Op. Er. Use the of her. Ate. Ate. Silent final E. Go ahead and write co-op-er-ate, sounding it out as you write it. And help me to write it. The first syllable is co, k, o. The second syllable is op, op. The third syllable is ate, ate. Silent final E. How will we mark it? We'll put a line over the O. It's at its long sound at the end of the syllable. We'll underline the and notice the vowel said its long sound because of the silent final E. Let's read it. K-o-op-er-ate. Cooperate. What is the root word here? It's operate. Did you know that co means with or together? So when we cooperate, we're operating together. This is a pretty fun word, I think. I like how the O and the A are next to each other, and I love how this prefix helps us unlock the meaning. The last word is exhausting. It was an exhausting week. Go ahead and say exhausting. How many syllables? 3. We will say to spell X, hos, ting. What will we say to spell? X, hos, ting. Let's sound it out together. The first syllable is X, X. And then we have hos, aw. This is 2-letter aw that you may not use at the end of English words. S, ting, t, I, ng. Go ahead and write X, hos, ting, sounding it out as you write it. And help me to write it. The first syllable is X, X, hos, aw, s, ting, t, I, ng. How do we mark it? Well, underline the aw. Now, it's really helpful to remember that this is an aw here, and it makes perfect sense when you see it that it says X, aw, s, t, I, ng. Exhausting. Great work today analyzing the spelling of these words.
Combining the science of reading with the joy of learning. Learn more at essentials.logicoфenglish.com.